an update on the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock thing. You know, Will Smith and Chris Rock had their little altercation at the Oscars. Everybody, most of you know who Will Smith and Chris Rock are. Well, I found out a couple of things that I thought might be interesting. Number one, Chris Rock is laughing all the way to the bank. He's probably going to make more money than ever. The second piece of this is that I see a bigger picture here, and I'm going to break that down for you. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day under one condition. The condition is that we are Black first. Black first means you put your community first. Black first means you solve your own problems. Black first means you don't bow to nobody. Black first means you educate your kids. Black first means that we believe in excellence for our people. If you agree with this philosophy, put a hashtag B and the number one in the chat, hashtag B1 in the chat if you agree that being Black first makes sense. All right, so give me a yes or no. How many of you have been following the whole thing with Chris Rock and Will Smith and kind of the aftermath of the Oscar slap? Give me a yes or no. I'm not going to ask you all if you saw what happened, because I assume all of you saw what happened. I mean, my God, if you didn't see it, you got to watch it. It's really interesting. It's something that just almost seems surreal. But anything's possible. So it's life, right? Also, if you notice that there's been kind of some conversation, apologies issued. And first thing I want to do is I got to issue an apology to Chris Rock, because I got an apology that looked like an apology from him, and I shared it on my Instagram. And I just have to tell y'all, it was a fake apology from what I understand. I was told that it wasn't real. From what I understand, Chris hasn't issued an apology yet. And so I'm still going to dig into that, and I'll come back to you guys with all the facts on that. And my goal is not to disparage or to mislead anybody. And I truly apologize for sharing that. I took it down from my Instagram. And when I see the real one, I'll share that. Okay. And Will Smith, I believe his apology is actually accurate as reported on CNN. It made sense to some extent, but I'm not here to talk about the apologies. I'm here to kind of, first of all, apologize because I messed up. But then number two, to just let you all know that that's kind of where things are right now. Now, here's the deal. With this whole situation, first thing that a lot of people don't know, I don't know how many of you know this or not, but it's really interesting to see how this is playing out, because you see this happen. This has never occurred before. You've never seen an actor walk up on the stage in the middle of the Oscars and slap the host. That's just never happened before. But then again, leave it up to Black people. We so special. We always take stuff to the next level. We always bring some extra spice that nobody expected. And there's no reason to believe that somebody can't get slapped at the Oscars. I mean, people got slapped at the Source Awards, so why not the Oscars too? All right. Well, the interesting thing was I was really curious. You know, how's this going to play out financially? You guys know I'm a financial guy, and I'm always thinking about the implications, like, or what are the economic dynamics behind all this, right? There's clearly an economic influence in even the structure of the apologies. I don't think Will Smith wanted to apologize. I don't think Will Smith had to apologize. But I imagine not apologizing might cost him, say, $100 million in opportunities, maybe some corporate sponsorships. Remember, when corporations support you and sponsor you, there is a code of conduct and a code of behavior that they need you to meet. You sign that on the dotted line. So Will Smith probably had some multi-million-dollar implications as to whether or not he chose to apologize or to just keep it moving, right? I told you guys I'm not interested in apologizing for things, but then again, I don't live in Will's world. It's a different kind of experience. I don't want to be in Will's world. I don't want to deal with Hollywood. I don't want to deal with the corporations. I don't want to deal with all that. And that's why, because I don't like apologizing. If I said it, I said it. Deal with it, right? So with that said, though, that's one financial angle of all this, right? I'm always looking to say, okay, how's the money driving all this? Well, here's one thing that I did not know. I didn't think about this. But Chris Rock, according to Variety, the sales for his tour, the ticket sales for his tour have flown through the roof since that whole slapping incident with Will Smith. Literally, I'm going to read this to you guys. Hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up if you haven't done it yet. And it says here, according to Variety, it says Chris Rock will return to the stage for his ongoing comedy tour this week after being slapped by Will Smith on the Oscar stage Sunday night over a joke he made about the actor's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. The on-screen altercation is one of the most dramatic unplanned events to occur in Academy Awards history. made even more peculiar by Smith accepting the award for Best Actor. By the way, winning Best Actor, that's a big deal in white people's land, in the world of white people. Like, that's huge. I don't care about that type of stuff, but that's a big deal for them, right? So for him to be one of the few black people to be picked as the Best Actor right after that incident was just all the more astonishing and extraordinary. All right, it's an extraordinary testimony to Will Smith's power and talent, but it's also just like it's what the hell. It's one of those weird moments, like a Twilight Zone type moment. And it says also, by the way, let me know if you can hear me. Give me a yes if you can hear me. Make sure I'm coming through okay, because I'm switching screens here. It says, however, the dramatic moment did seem to inspire some viewers to buy tickets to see Rock perform live. One secondary ticketing marketplace, TickPick, reports that they have sold more tickets to the comedian's tour overnight than they did in the past month combined. They also claim that ticket prices have surged since Sunday night, going up from a minimum of $46 a ticket on March 18th, right before the Oscars, to a minimum of $341. So as a result of this incident with Will Smith, Chris Rock's ticket prices have gone up 800%. 800, that's crazy, right? So Chris Rock is laughing all the way to the bank. I mean, he's laughing all the way. Pookie, remember Pookie from New Jack City? He ain't got to worry about getting his crack money because Pookie's extra paid right now. And I find that really fascinating. And Will Smith is also a guy that has always known how to make money himself, right? So I don't think Will is ever going to be hurting. I think part of the reason maybe Will decided to make the move that he made was driven by the fact that he's got to the point where I talked to you guys about having what I call FU money. FU money is when you get enough in terms of extra income, side hustles, reserve funds, that you can say FU to your boss, FU to your situation, FU to the system, FU to everybody, and still be okay. So I want you all, when you talk about investing, that's the goal, right? Get your FU money, and then you can kind of do what you want, right? Maybe you can't walk on stage and slap somebody at the Oscars, but you might be able to slap your boss and get away with it. Don't do that. Please don't go slap your boss, because I don't want y'all going to jail, because I forgot, they will lock you up. They won't lock up Will, but they'll lock you up. But seriously, though, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I have many a fantasy about running up and slapping my boss, or at least cussing my boss out, right? And walking out that door. And I'm telling you, that's what financial security kind of allows you to do, right? So shout out to Will Smith for having enough financial security that he could walk up and slap the host of the Oscars and then get an award, not get arrested, and probably make more money in the end. Here's the last piece. Before I move to the last piece, I'd like to ask you all, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. If you'd like to support the platform, we'd love to have you as a patron at intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. And also, don't forget, in the Black Business School, we have a mastermind on NFTs taught by Tiala Kidd that starts tomorrow night. If you're interested in taking a look at that, or the All Black National Convention, or all the things we have going on, just go to boycewatkins.com. That's my URL, boycewatkins.com. If you're watching on Instagram, just hit the link in the bio. I'm going to share this last little piece, and then I'm going to bounce and let you get back to your day. Here's one thing that really hit me. It hit me. It's just, I just, sometimes these thoughts come to me like a thunderbolt. And it's something I knew, but it's like I knew it, but now I really know it. I said, wait a minute. Chris Rock and Will Smith, these are not employees. These are not guys that are looking for an opportunity. These are veterans. Right? These are guys that have been going to the Oscars literally since the early 1990s. The early 1990s, right? That's a big deal. Now, this might seem like small news to you. This may not seem like a big deal. You may wonder, why is Boyce talking about these celebrities? Well, because everything is about economics. Everything's about race. Everything's about freedom. You just may not understand that. You may not see it right away. But I'm here to connect the dots. That's my goal. My goal is to guide you on those dot connections so you can understand how this game of economics works and how it interlaces with race, politics, society, and everything else. So Chris Rock and Will Smith, these are not just regular guys. These guys have been going to the Oscars since 1991 or 2 or 3 or something, right? So in their status as bosses, I said, wait a minute. The standard rules don't apply for them. The rules of racial and political and social physics kind of bend for people that are in this rare space. Denzel might be another guy that's kind of in that space, right? And here's what my thought was, right? Okay, if this were a typical Negro incident, right? If this were a typical situation, because this was a black event, Like that was a black event within a white event. Like that was black. That was black people understood that incident more than the rest of the world did. We got it, right? People watching in Switzerland, they're like, what is going on? And I have friends from Denmark, and they're like, we didn't understand. We did not know why Will Smith wanted. Black people get it. Yeah, he slapped that dude because he up there talking about his wife, and we know what he means. We said, keep your wife, my wife's name out your mouth. Like, we got all that. We understood that, right? And so with this incident, you're talking about two guys that are in this special rare space where the air is very thin, where you are actually a boss and you shape your own destiny. For a typical black person or a typical person, period, the rules would be different. The rules would be the Oscars are going to investigate, and after we investigate, we're never going to invite you again. That's not going to happen. They're going to both be invited. Chris will probably be invited to host again. He hosted in 2016. He hosted this year. He's going to host in the future. Will Smith will be in the front row next year, just like he was last year, and maybe get another Best Actor award. What else would happen to a regular person? You're probably going to jail. Chris shouldn't go. I mean, you don't go to jail for getting slapped. But Will ain't going to jail. Ain't nobody pressing charges. Ain't nobody suing him. None of that is going to happen. Also, Hollywood is a place that loves to blackball people. Most Negroes I know in LA, I know a lot of actors and actresses. Most of them would be mortified to act a fool at the Oscars because they'd be scared of never being invited to the Oscars again. They'd be scared of never being invited to be on a project again. They'd be afraid of the economic consequences of their behavior. For these guys, the rules kind of shift. This is the kind of stuff that gets me excited as a finance guy, right? That's what my PhD's in, right? But it's not just the little stuff, the 401ks and which stock to pick. It's really looking at the rules of economic warfare and how all that plays out. So for these guys, there aren't negative economic consequences of what occurred. Their economic consequences are going to be very positive. Why is that? Well, because when you hit that rare space that a Will Smith or a Chris Rock has hit, you're no longer necessarily trying to be a part of the Oscars. You're actually competing with the Oscars, right? So I'm Will Smith. I go to the Oscars and I just act a fool. I walk up on stage and slap the host, right? Maybe the Oscars likes it, maybe they don't, right? Some of them are clutching their pearls and saying, oh my goodness, you don't do that at the Oscars, right? Well, F you. You ain't got the power of a Will Smith, so it doesn't matter what you think, right? But then some of them are saying, oh, this is great. Now people are actually watching the Oscars. Oscars ratings went up about 50%. 10 million people watched the Oscars last year. That was a massive decline. The Oscars was dying until that moment where Will Smith woke everybody up. He woke up Chris Rock's face and he woke up the viewership. They went from 10 million to 15.6 million, 56% increase in viewership. So they're loving this. They can sell this to corporations and make more money next year. So some of them who are a little less emotional about it are seeing the bigger picture. They're saying, great, this is good for the Oscars. But then again, it might be kind of bad because now the Oscars is looking a little ghetto. You're looking like somebody's crazy backyard barbecue. You're looking like the Source Awards right now. So some people are not going to be happy with the idea that other actors who are thinking about trying to get attention to themselves may be thinking, yeah, if I don't like what the host says, I'm going to roll up and I'm going to smack that dude too, right? Like they don't like that, right? That's life. But Will and Chris will definitely benefit from this. I already explained to you earlier, Chris Rock is already receiving millions of dollars in financial benefits. His ticket sales are through the roof. His tour is going to sell out. Everybody's going to want to know what his jokes are going to look like after this is over. I'm really happy to hear that apology wasn't a real apology because I was very surprised that a dedicated comedian like a Chris Rock would undermine one of the most basic fundamental rules of being a comedian, which is a pure commitment to freedom of speech, like a fearlessness. Comedians they live under an oath like monks, or like the way attorneys will live and die based on attorney-client privilege. Like they'll go to jail over attorney-client privilege because that's one of the sacred principles that you do not violate. Comedians do not violate this freedom of speech. They're not going to go and apologize for telling a joke. And there are people who believe, and I'm not saying you're right or wrong, it's your opinion, it's your right to have that, but they believe that no matter what joke he said, you ain't got a right to slap that man or threaten that man or beat that man up because he said a joke. It was a damn joke. And that's something that I can certainly hear that. But also a lot of us can understand why Will felt the need to address that issue. I don't know if a smack is the best way to address it, but he's a grown man. He makes his own choices. But at the end of the day, what I really see here is I see kind of a major power play long term. In this economy that we live in, attention is a commodity. Attention is a commodity. Social media companies make billions of dollars by capturing your attention. The flaw in Facebook's business model is that that's how they make their money. They make money by getting your attention, getting you scrolling all day long so they can sell your attention to advertisers. Well, now there's a lot of competition for attention. Netflix, Disney, Hulu, all these streaming services are they're putting up content saying, we need your attention, 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 attention. Will Smith and Chris Rock created in that one moment about $10 billion worth of attention. This attention is going to be commodified in a variety of ways. There's somebody sitting in their office right now strategizing on how they're going to take this attention and leverage that into the next movie. The next Will Smith movie is going to be a blockbuster hit because Will knows how to do that. And I thank God he's making great movies like King Richard. I was so proud of him for doing that film. It made me feel really good as a black man to watch that movie. Chris Rock is going to leverage this attention by selling out his comedy tour. He's going to sit down with Netflix and he's going to say, I've got all this attention. Pay me $50 million like a Dave Chappelle, and I'll give you another series of comedy specials, right? So all this can be sold. All this can be so really, if you get past the emotionality of it all, right? Chris Rock had a sore jaw for a little bit, right? Might have got a tooth knocked loose or something, or his feelings might have been hurt. Will Smith maybe was a little bit embarrassed and a little bit angry and a little bit flustered and probably a little bit conflicted about how he handled things. All those emotions are there, but I think if you get past all that and you look at the economics of it all, this is probably a big economic move for both of them. And I'd be really curious. God, I don't know Will and I don't know Chris. I know it's funny. I'm not even a celebrity. I'm like a D-list, E-list. Like every now and then a famous person calls me. So I used to get calls from Chris Rock's brother, but I never talked to Chris. I used to talk to Will Smith's brother a lot, Harry. I talked to him a bunch of times, but I never talked to Will. I would love to talk to one of those guys and really get a sense of what are the economic dynamics happening behind the scenes that are either making this an asset in your life or a liability. It's probably both. You usually can't climb forward without taking a step or two back. You can't scared money don't make money. You can't rise up without taking a little bit of pain, a little bit of discomfort. And that's why these guys are so successful, in my view, is because they've taken these risks. Chris Rock is a successful comedian because he takes the risk of telling jokes that might get his ass slapped, right? Will Smith is a successful filmmaker because he's the guy that's always been brave enough to walk up on stage and slap you if you talk about his wife. Or he's willing to be called a simp because he's dedicated to his family. The downside is you get called a simp. The good side is that you get to tell people that you've been married to this woman for 30, 40 years and you've created a structure of a beautiful black family that millions of people are emulating and they have respect for, right? Every good typically comes with a bad. Every bad comes with a good. There's a yin and a yang for everything. And I think these guys understand that balance extremely well. So I would pay attention. I would kind of watch, because there's a lot going on under here beneath the surface that the media really isn't going to talk about. All they're going to do is talk about level 1. I like to do level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 analysis, and I hope that helps you understand how the world works a little bit. Okay, so that's all I got to say. This was my thought. I was sharing it real quick. I'm on a daddy-daughter trip to Alaska. That's why I got a hotel room in my background. So I'm going to go spend time with my child. I love all of y'all. Reminder, if you want to get passes for the All Black National Convention, you can go to boycewatkins.com. It's up there. If you want to join the NFT Mastermind tomorrow, it starts tomorrow night with T.I. Kid. Just go to boycewatkins.com. We're doing a whole lot of study and deep dive into NFTs. I'm going to put out an NFT collection. I'm going to invest in some NFTs. I think it's a great industry to look into, so feel free to go to my website for that. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Love you guys. God bless you. And I hope this conversation was helpful to you. And I wish you well in your economic journey. I hope you all get rich. Talk to you guys later. Take care. Love you. Peace.